Lorato adjusted her cheap office heels under the desk and stared at the blinking computer screen in front of her. The office around her buzzed with laughter, gossip, and keyboard clicks, but none of it included her. Admin girl. Make copies for boardroom 2. Lorato, coffee is finished. Don't forget to clean the meeting room after lunch. Every day felt the same. At 24, Lorato worked as an admin assistant at a large company in Johannesburg. She was beautiful in a quiet way, soft brown eyes, smooth dark skin, and a smile she rarely used anymore. But beauty meant nothing in that office. Her manager, Mrs. Daniels, treated her like she was invisible unless something needed to be done. You must learn your place, Mrs. Daniels would always say. And Lorato had. She kept her head down, spoke softly, and survived each day. Most of the staff wore expensive perfumes and designer clothes. Lorato wore the same 3 outfits every week because her salary mostly went home to help her mother and younger brother. The office girls mocked her behind her back. She thinks she's pretty. With those cheap wigs? She should be grateful. She even has a job. Lorato heard everything, but she never responded, because pain had taught her silence. One rainy Thursday morning, the office was in chaos. The CEO had unexpectedly arrived from overseas, and everyone was panicking. The CEO is here, someone whispered. No warning. I heard he's young. And unmarried. Mrs. Daniels suddenly walked toward Lorato, holding a tray with tea. The executive assistant is late, she snapped. Take this tea to the CEO's office. And don't embarrass us. Lorato froze. The CEO? Yes, the CEO. Move. Her hands trembled as she carried the tray down the long hallway. She had never met him before. People spoke about him like he was untouchable, powerful, intelligent, intimidating. She stopped outside the large office door and knocked softly. Come in. The deep voice made her nervous. Lorato walked in carefully, and then she saw him. Tall. Handsome. Sharp jawline. Dark eyes. A perfectly fitted black suit. He looked up from his laptop, and for a moment the entire world seemed to stop. Lorato quickly lowered her eyes. Why your tea, sir? But the CEO wasn't looking at the tea. He was looking at her. Completely. As if he had suddenly forgotten what he was doing. His name was Adrian Makona, and in that single second, something inside him shifted. Love at first sight. Real. Unexpected. Dangerous. Lorato carefully placed the tea down and turned to leave. What's your name? He asked. She paused. Lorato. He repeated it slowly, like it meant something important. Lorato. She nodded awkwardly and hurried out before her heart could embarrass her. The entire day, Adrian couldn't focus. Not during meetings. Not during presentations. Not even while investors spoke to him. All he could think about was the shy girl with sad eyes. There had been pain in her smile, and he wanted to know why. The next morning, Lorato arrived at work shocked to find a bouquet of white roses on her desk. No note. Just her name. The office exploded with gossip. Who are those from? Maybe the delivery guy likes her. Mrs. Daniels looked irritated. Lorato quietly touched the flowers, confused. Then her phone rang. Mr. Makona would like to see you. Her stomach dropped. When she entered his office again, Adrian stood by the window waiting for her. You sent the flowers? She asked nervously. Yes. Why? Because yesterday was the first time this office felt human. She blinked. I don't understand. He stepped closer. Everyone in this building talks when they want something from me. You were the first person who looked at me without pretending. Lorato laughed softly in disbelief. Sir, women like me don't belong in your world. His eyes never left hers. And who told you that? Years of humiliation sat heavy in her chest. People like me are ignored, she whispered. We serve tea. We type documents. We get laughed at. Adrian's face tightened. Then everyone around you is blind. For the first time in years, Lorato felt seen. Not as the admin girl. Not as the poor girl from the township. But as a woman. Beautiful. Important. Wanted. From that day, everything slowly changed. Adrian started eating lunch with her in the cafeteria instead of the executive dining room. People stared in shock. He asked about her dreams, her family, her favorite music, her fears. And Lorado slowly learned that behind his expensive suits and success was a lonely man who trusted almost no one. The more they talked, the more they fell in love. Real love, the kind that heals broken places. But the office became crueler. She trapped the CEO. She's after money. She planned this. One afternoon, Lorado overheard staff insulting her in the restroom. Their words cut deeply. That evening she walked into Adrian's office with tears in her eyes. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered. "Your world hates me." Adrian stood immediately. "They don't matter." "But they do. They make me feel small every day." He gently held her face. "Look at me, Lorado."
She did.
"You walked into my office carrying tea, but you brought peace into my life. You made me happy again. Never let insecure people decide your worth." Her tears finally fell. Nobody had ever defended her before. Nobody had ever chosen her before. Adrian pulled her into his arms, and she cried against his chest while the rain poured outside the office windows. And in that moment, Lorado realized something powerful. Sometimes the people who are overlooked by the world become the most loved by the right person. A year later, she no longer worked as an admin assistant. Adrian helped pay for her business degree, and together they built a life filled with love, respect, and healing. But even after all the success, Adrian still teased her sometimes. "Funny how one cup of tea changed my entire life." And Lorado would smile before answering softly, "No, it changed mine."